You know, I was trying to think. I was trying to think of what's the best way. What's the best way to start this live? I was trying to think legit, like, what is the best way we could start this live? How do you start it, and how do you pick up from what went on last night? Because obviously last night we had Undisputed. It was tremendous. It was a tremendous fight. And I was thinking kind of, what's the best intro I could come up with to really start this fight? And I think the best intro is Happy New Year. To the chat, how are we doing? How are we doing? Holy mother. I know, Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year. My guy was definitely concussed. That's what I gotta say. That guy was definitely concussed. And this chat, we're already 60 plus people, 92. Okay, so my thing's not even updating that fast. So this is going to be, the questions are going to be coming in thick and fast, right? And yes, Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. You know, New Year's officially starts in the middle of May, and well, actually, it's nearly June. But yes, will I make a WTF video on what happened to Oleksandr Usyk? You see, I can't really do it as a WTF video. I have a video planned on Oleksandr Usyk, don't worry. But like, WTF is kind of more so a fighter who's more on the decline, or maybe there's questions about them. There's no questions about Tyson Fury, and Happy New Year to you as well. How we feel right now or what? I think that even people I've spoke to, now I'm not going to name them, but I've spoke to people in the boxing fraternity who are in pretty significant roles, and they obviously can't go on camera and say I'm delighted. But I had a voice note conversation with someone, I'm not going to name who it was, and he's still buzzing from last night. He said it's the most satisfying result he's ever seen in all his time watching the boxing. And that just goes to show Fury has rubbed so many fight fans up the wrong way. Many of them would have been fans of his, no questions. Many of them would have, just thinking of that text there. Many of them would have been fans of his, and they would have went into this fight and they would have said, okay, it was fine, it was this, it was that. But because he's rubbed so many people the wrong way, because he's gaslit the public and tried to make fools of people, when people, they know better, it made this win. It wasn't Ade. No, it wasn't Ade. I haven't actually spoke to Ade yet. I wasn't Ade. I haven't actually spoke to him. I'm going to send him, maybe, he's probably flying home today, so I might send him a WhatsApp tomorrow and just see how good it was, man. It was, it's all good, G-man. I don't mind you saying I don't know boxing. You're talking to me, man. I don't think I've said that. But, yeah, no, the fight was brilliant. It was what you'd expect in a heavyweight championship fight for the world. For Undisputed, I should say. It was what you'd expect. We got it. We didn't get the controversy. I don't know why I'm using the tablet, because I'm reading more off the things that are coming in, because they're coming in so flipping quick. The tablet can't even update as quick as the chat on StreamYard, so I might actually just put that down. It was a brilliant fight. I watched it back literally as soon as I woke up this morning, because when I got to bed last night, it was about 2:15. Again, I got, oh yeah, that was some reaction, man, when because I didn't see it. At that point in the fight, Usyk was getting on top, but I didn't envision that happening in round 9. It caught me off guard, as it did a lot of people. And you know what? I was watching I watched True Geordies, I watched Boxing Waves, I watched a few, and everyone was the same. We were all losing it. Would I get a hair transplant? I'm going to get one, man. Probably at the end of the year. I'm looking to go over to Turkey and get turkey. Yeah. His excellent turkey. Yeah, I'm looking to get all up there done soon, hopefully. Probably the end of the year. I've got to get a move sorted. And once that's sorted and I see how the finances are, I see what the income is like each month, yeah, 100%. I don't care. I'll say it. Like, I want to get their set up. I want to have the cheat code. But yeah, it was a phenomenal fight. It was a great card. Now, I have to say as well, it really was. Can someone explain to me how they scored the first 3 rounds to Tyson Fury? Did they actually do that? Did they actually say, oh, listen, the Fury fanboys, Joe Stunner Boxing summed them up perfectly in his video, and I'd encourage you, I'd say most people probably have gone and looked at it. They are the sort of people where, you know, you nearly just don't want them around in the channel, because you're just kind of like, you know what? And I've seen some of the comments and they're disgusting. They're absolutely disgusting, some of the comments these people make, saying things about, you know, the people of Ukraine and what's going on there, and this about Anthony Joshua. It's just, but yeah, if you critique Tyson Fury, they think that they have the moral high ground. You're just like, what? You know, and you see some of, again, you see some of the comments there, and you're just like, what the hell? You know, and I don't like blocking or kicking comments or anything like that. I try not to unless it's really bad. And you just look at some of them and you're just like, you really don't have it. You don't even know what class is. And Fury with those comments post-fight about Usyk and what's going on there, that's classless. That's just classless. That's scummy. And honestly, it's just disgraceful. I've seen that she'll never be at one of his fights for the future. I would imagine that Fury may call it a day. They may call it a day. He may call it a day after that. I know the rematch is there. Listen, Tyson Fury in the heat of the moment is going to say, I'm going for the rematch, this, that, and the other. October is not that far away. It really isn't. It's not that far away. And you got to figure as well, right? He was 100%, 110% concussed. I mean, the first thing, Happy New Year, he was definitely concussed post-fight. I've never seen him that badly hurt, and the referee did a disgraceful job. He did a disgraceful job. And by the way, mate, I will give you a shout out in a video. This is a live. I said I'll do it in a video. I will do it. I seen a comment you left. He said, "Can I get a shout out?" The guy doesn't even have a channel, but look, an OG sub. I'll give you a shout out in my next vid, man. I promise. But yeah, where was I saying? I seen the Billy Nelson comments. Let's see how they handle this emotionally loss. Let's see how he handles it emotionally. I don't know. Agree. The referee was a disgrace. It's, again, when you're watching it in the moment. When you're watching it in a moment, you look at it and you're kind of like, okay, he's gone into the ropes. The referee's called the standing count. Fair enough. But when you watch it back, you're like, hang on a minute. That referee really shouldn't have stepped in there. And it's one sense, it's kind of a good thing he did, because Usyk had a free hit there. And he was gonna throw that shot. If he'd have hit Fury in that moment where he fell into the corner, that fight was over. Because he was already on Queer Street. You know? He was already gonzo. And if he had hit him with that shot, that would have been it. I think although the bell would have went, there's no way he would have recovered. And again, when you watch it I know Hackman likes to talk about watching it with the sound off. And I agree. When you watch it in the cold light of day, I would always encourage people, though. This is one thing where I won't disagree with Hackman, but I'll say I would swap it up a little bit. So he suggests that you should watch it with, the sound off. And I agree. You should watch it with the sound off, but you should watch it the next day. You shouldn't watch it then and there. Well, you could watch it with the sound off or with commentary, either way, whatever floats your boat. But I would recommend, to get the best picture of what way to look at this fight and accurately get an idea of who really won, watch it the next day with the sound off, because you'll often find when you're watching it live, you're in that moment. You're in that moment so much that you're just you're like, oh my God, this is happening and this is happening, and you're missing things. When you watch it the next day, then I know it's not as entertaining and 100%, but I'm telling you now, commentary can sway it. And I was watching it this morning, and I was kind of lucky, because when I watched it this morning, I watched it his own commentary. I watched it with the commentary, and I knew, because people told me, look, it's pro Fury. So just so you're aware, knowing the result already, I was like, okay, fine. It's going to be pro Fury, fair enough. And it was very pro Fury. But watching it in the cold light of day, you're just like, nah, this was a Usyk win. I mean, I was generous I actually feel I was being very generous scoring the fight 8-4 to Oleksandr Usyk. It really was more a 9-3 type fight. I mean, the 4th round, the 5th round, and the 6th round. They are the rounds that you can clearly give to Tyson Fury. The rest were all Oleksandr Usyk. That was one of the best nights I've seen in a while, and thank you, Adam, once again for the £5. Don't know if you've heard, but Fury made a statement today blaming his team for his loss. Well, hang on a minute. That's on him if he is blaming the team for his loss, right? That's on him because he had Sugar Hill Stewart in that corner trying to read him instructions. You had Andy Lee this side, you had John Fury shouting over this side. One voice in that corner, and a Sugar Hill Stewart. That's it. So you're the one who chose to have all these people around you, right? They're not coming barging their way in saying, Tyson, we need to be around you. You had them in the corner. Sugar Hill is your man. You should have said to Andy Lee, to John Fury, listen, whatever's happening in this fight, you, all keep it zipped. He's the guy. He's speaking. That's it. Sugar Hill Stewart is the voice. And Sugar Hill is giving him instructions. And John Fury shouting over him. And you're just thinking, that's not a corner that's going to get, especially when Tyson Fury is in a tough fight, which he is, that corner is not going to do anything. Because who's in charge? What's he getting? He's getting instruction from his main guy. He's telling him this, then John Fury is saying this, then he's saying this, and Andy Lee is telling him he's winning. So he's like, wait, I'm ahead, but I need to do this. He's speaking with urgency, but this guy's telling me I'm winning. He's saying double up the jab. He's saying no, don't. What do I do? As a fighter, you can imagine Anthony Joshua would have been screwed. You know what he's like for overthinking. Could you imagine Anthony Joshua going in there and have 3 voices like that? You're winning. You need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do this. So Joshua will probably he'd probably face the other end and be like, "Where's Oleksandr Usyk gone? Oh, there he is." He'd be all over the shop in there. But no, it was shocking from the team. I'll have to read the statement Fury gave on this loss, but. No, that what he claimed about it being because Usyk's country is having is having conflict. That's wrong. That's such a horrible thing to do and to say that. And here's the thing, right? If that is the case, why was it split against Anthony Joshua? Why did one judge try and give that Anthony Joshua fight to Oleksandr Usyk? Because that conflict was going on then. It was only just started. Why didn't Lomachenko get the decision over Devin Haney? If that's the case. Unbelievable. And again, the Fury fans have no real shame. They'll defend that. They'll make excuses. Do you ever hear the saying people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones? Because, apparently, according to someone in the chat, they're saying that Usyk is a cheat. A you-know-what cheat, a PED cheat. Has Usyk ever served a ban? No. Has Tyson Fury? Yeah, he has. And yes, if you could hit the like button, I'd appreciate that. There's 500 of you people in the building, by the way. 500 of you lovely guys in the building. I appreciate every single one of you locking in. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. 18,510 subscribers. We only just hit 18,200 on Friday. We are doing very well in here. I can't believe that video I did this morning. When I recorded that video, the Tyson Fury Karma video, I was kind of thinking to myself, like, is it really that good? Was it really that good a video? And I was kind of like, will I upload it? And I said, right, I'll upload it. Less than 8 hours, 28,500 views and 1,400 likes. That's my most liked video by a fair bit. So yeah, I think it was a pretty good vid, to be honest with you. I think people, and again, Joe Stunner Boxing, go and have a look at his video. It was brilliant as well. And he was a little bit more, how shall I say, animated than I was. Maybe the right way to say it. I kind of pulled back a little bit. He wasn't pulling no punches in that vid. Shout out to Joe Stunner Boxing, always a great guest. Me and Jamie this week, I have to text him, I completely forgot. Me and Jamie have to do a vid this week. We have to do a stream together. Yeah, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It was so random. It was just like, what the F? G-Man was round 9 a TKO. It wasn't. It was so close to being a TKO. And, I watched the live reactions of a few people, and live watch-alongs are great, aren't they? The one thing I will say about them, because people ask me to do a few more of them, I love them, but you really, like, it's weird, right? You only really get into it proper when it's the main event. And that's when everything just becomes real. But I don't want to just go live for an hour and do the main event. I like to kind of do the undercard, but like last night I was watching Brieda Zapataya, which wasn't a great fight. And it was just like, get this fight going, get this fight going, get this fight going. Then we had that guy singing, whoever the hell he was, which just added an extra, 10 minutes onto it. And they didn't tell us he'd be singing, whoever the hell he was. And you were just sitting there like, what the hell? What is this crap? The People's Office. I have favoured Fury. He should retire before he gets brain damage. He's too easy to hit. The Ngannou fight said it all. Send boys to Chachina. Thanks, G. Don't know where that is, but appreciate the £5 nonetheless, man. G-Man loved the singer. Oh, yeah. I was very feel. Do you think Tyson will ever fight AJ? Well, what's going to happen with the rematch? You know? I wouldn't be shocked if Usyk walks away. I think that Fury is... Well, Usyk, I don't think the jaw is broken. He did a press conference and seemed okay in the post-fight interview. So... Well, yeah, he was actually watching Branchek's fight last night, or Dennis Bacchek. So he seemed okay. It was just... I don't know. I mean, it's not uncommon for a fighter to win a fight with a broken jaw. I mean, look at Jaya Pattaya. Happened to him. Happened to Arthur Abraham. You're one of the few journalists I trust. Man, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I just try my best. And you know, when I go to some events, I do have someone who says, I watch your video, I don't agree with everything, but it's respectful. And I try and be somewhat respectful. There are some times where it's just like, I have to just go there. You know, like IFL, when they were insinuating that it was a member of Team Usyk who headbutted John Fury, you're just like, what the actual F is wrong with you? When you have the footage and you can't gaslight people when they have a pair of eyes. I said 2 pairs of eyes in the original video. Not everyone has 2 pairs of eyes. But you can't gaslight people like that into thinking that that wasn't John Fury who initiated it all. He should have stayed focused and kept pressing. See, here's the thing. I think that if Fury would have kept pressing, he would have gassed out even worse. You know, and, you know, that fight, like Usyk, it's fair to say, and I'll say this now, he is not in his peak anymore. I think we saw a little bit of slippage in the Joshua rematch. We saw a little bit of it in the Dubois fight, even though it was a good fight, and we've seen a little bit of it here. For me, peak Usyk, you would probably say, was against Gassiev. That was probably Usyk at his absolute best. And thank you, David, for the £9. I appreciate it. £10. Sorry, £10. What am I saying? Who do you think did a better job against Usyk, Fury or AJ? Do you think Fury can make adjustments and win the rematch? If that happens, are his legs gone? Also, do you feel Sugar Hill will leave the Fury camp? I don't think he should. I think Sugar Hill is the best asset they have in that camp. And I think that if you add John Fury in, I don't think that's going to make much of a difference, to be honest with you. Can Fury win a rematch? Oh, and obviously you asked me who did better, Joshua or Fury. That's a good question. It's a weird one because, how do you explain it, right? Like, this is how I'm going to kind of try and word it, right? I would score both Joshua fights 9-3 to Oleksandr Usyk. I'm going to be generous and give Fury an 8-4, but you could score it 9-3 as well, right? You could score it that. Now, although Joshua never touched down against Usyk, he was buzzed in the first fight. He wasn't really that badly stunned in the second fight. He did have that rough 10th round, but never anything as bad as round 9, Tyson Fury suffered. However, the rounds Fury won were a lot more clear than the rounds Joshua won. He seemed to hurt Usyk, or at least bother Usyk, a lot more than Joshua did. So you could make an argument that Tyson Fury, even in defeat, did a better job than Joshua. But saying that, Joshua never touched down, and Joshua was never out on his feet. And what I would say as well is that if we had a different referee, we could be actually talking about another back-to-back 9th-round stoppage for Oleksandr Usyk. So, that's what I got to say on that one. Where are we at? Agree the title is misleading for me. Didn't get battered, close fight. No, I felt he got battered. That's why I put it down, because when I rewatched it, I was like, no, man, my guy got battered. I mean, my guy was saying Happy New Year in the post-fight post-fight interview at it. Now, my guy definitely, that was when you watch it then and there, you're like, I might give that round, I might give that. When you watch it back, you're like, really? That was clear Usyk. It really was the 8th round when he busted Fury's nose up. When he landed that big left-hander that just busted Fury's nose. It was almost like, I don't want to say, how would you explain it? It's like Fury just mentally, that was it. He just checked out. And I did see a £2 super chat there. I appreciate that. It's just completely gone from the screen, because the chat is 550 in the building. And by the way, if you haven't already, hit the old like button. I would greatly appreciate that. It's so hard to read some of these questions, by the way. 131 likes. As I said, if you haven't already, hit the like button. And if you haven't as well, the old subscribe button is just like, literally, it's just 2 seconds, 2 seconds. Just so you know, just so you know, it takes literally 2 seconds to hit the old subscribe button. Fury's chin has been gone for a while. AJ would catch him and KO him. Well, if you're getting hurt by Usyk badly, well, then AJ has got, if that was AJ, God only knows what would have happened. I'd be picking Joshua now. I know Usyk was talking about carrying on till he was 40, but I truthfully think that that's the end of it. I would say he'll probably do the Fury rematch. It won't happen in October. I reckon December. I reckon Usyk will need time off after that. Fury definitely needs time off after that. What I meant by Sugar Hill was, I think he will leave. I think John Fury might be a nightmare to be around. I wonder why Tyson... Actually, apologies. Yes, I should have really have thought that. I genuinely thought you were saying, will Tyson beat him? And he'd be wrong too. Will Sugar Hill Stewart leave? What I will say about Sugar Hill Stewart, he comes across as a man who takes no nonsense. A bit like Peter Fury. He comes across as a real straight shooter, Sugar Hill Stewart. He obviously let the cat out of the bag last year about coming over to train Lawrence Coley. And obviously John Fury was saying stuff like, wait till I see him and this, that, and the other. Well, I'm sure he's seen him, and what has he done? Thank you, L. Simmons. I appreciate the 10 quid as well. Great channel. I try, mate. I try. I'm assuming it's a man because the L. Simmons, but I'm assuming it is. I appreciate it, mate. I do try. Thank you so very much for the super chat. I really do appreciate it. Every little bit helps, and it means the world seeing all them. Thank you so much. But yeah, Sugar Hill is a real straight shooter. He really is. I have a lot of respect for Sugar Hill Stewart, and I'm sure for him, you've got to fit. That was undermining the trainer. Sugar Hill is the man in there. He's the guy giving the instructions. He knows what he's doing. He has that. Manny Stewart, and Manny Stewart's nephew. He knows what he's talking about. Don't talk over him. He's given the fighter instructions. Andy Lee as well should have known better. He's a trainer himself. I'm sure he wouldn't like it if he's giving Paddy Donovan instructions or Joseph Parker instructions, and someone is shouting in Joseph Parker's ear, do this, do that, and this, and that, and this. You're just like, hang on a minute. Stop it. One voice. Too many cooks spoil the broth. Do you ever hear that saying? So I wouldn't be shocked if he did. Peter Fury, if you go back and look at some of the footage before the Klitschko fight, some of the training footage, Peter is saying one thing, John's saying the other, and Tyson is even saying, shut up, Dad. I don't think he's saying Dad, but maybe he's saying shut up, John, or something like that. John Fury has got to be a nightmare to work with, because he wants to be that voice. And he always says stuff, like, oh, I don't want to do, and they don't listen, and I don't want to. Listen, John Fury's always wanted to be the head of that team. He's always wanted to. And it says a lot, doesn't it, that Tyson has never had him as head trainer. And he's had opportunities, but he's never had John Fury as head trainer. He's always kept him in the team, which even then I still think is a mistake. There's no reason why he... And if you think about it like this, you see that performance against Deontay Wilder in the rematch. Right? And obviously that was a younger Tyson Fury. But what's the one thing about that fight that you notice? It was just Sugar Hill Stewart. there was no John Fury because it was in America. He obviously can't fight over there, or so he obviously isn't allowed over in America. And that was, I would put the Wilder 2 performance as Fury's best performance. That for me was even better than the Klitschko fight. Because yeah, the Klitschko fight, he went to Germany, which was, fair play. He went over there, he outboxed Klitschko. But he really beat Deontay Wilder up. That was a much better performance than the Klitschko fight. What an amazing card. Big up to the excellent Turkey Al Sheikh. Listen, I was watching True Geordie's video on this, and he was talking about the UFC, how Tom Aspinall is having to fight is having to basically defend the interim heavyweight title in the UFC because John Jones won't fight him. And fights aren't getting made, and you have McGregor versus Chandler. And the UFC have always said about boxing, oh, the big fights don't get made. Oh, they don't do this. Oh, boxing is this. Oh, you have to wait. Not anymore. Not anymore. We are having our own little kind of, what would you call it, golden patch. And how long it lasts, I don't know. But you bet your ass I am going to enjoy this while it lasts, because it is amazing that we are getting these amazing cards. We're now going to get some in the UK. We're now going to get some in the US. And I'm just so happy. And Turkey Al Sheikh has been it's been incredible, really. Without the Saudis, as Emerald says there, I don't want to think about the state boxing would be in. Without the Saudis, we wouldn't have had, last night wouldn't have happened. Last night would not have happened without him. We wouldn't have had events. I know it wasn't, on paper, it was a bit of a joke fight, but it turned out to be fun. We wouldn't have had an event like Fury and Gano. The undercard was amazing. We wouldn't have had the Day of Reckoning. I mean, the Day of Reckoning was put on as a little kind of substitute almost for Fury Usyk, because you remember it was meant to happen on that date. And they put on one of the best cards on paper, and it was a good card that we've ever seen as boxing fans. They then go and do Joshua Ngannou, which was what it was, but the undercard was electric. They've done this show. We have in 2 weeks' time, this day, 2 weeks, we'll be right back here in the same position talking over the Matchroom versus Queensbury show, which was originally meant to happen to Herbie at Bivol. We'll still get that fight, but we still have an amazing 5v5 with a prelim. We have Nicky Ball versus, what's the guy's name? I can't remember, Raymond Ford. We have Hamza Shearers and Mo Williams. We have Dubois versus Hergovich. We have, I'm trying to think, we have Wilder versus Zhang. And we have, obviously, Craig Richards versus Willie Hutchinson. And I appreciate that, mate. Thank you so much, Paul Kerr, for the £5. Keep it up, mate. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that, man, 100%. We have that coming up now in a fortnight's time. We have the show in LA, I think is where the Crawford show is going to be against Majamov, which is a brilliant fight in of itself. We have flipping Tim Tszyu versus Virgil Ortiz on the undercard. Like, that fight is literally, I cannot believe that fight's happening. You Big Farmer Miller versus Andy Ruiz. I'm missing a fight on that card, but I probably can't remember, because I can't remember off the top of my head. With Joshua potentially having a new way on his flipping undercard in September, there's probably going to be maybe another 2 Saudi shows before the end of the year. It is unbelievable what is happening in boxing. They're talking about doing Canelo Crawford next year or late this year. It is literally unbelievable what is happening in boxing, because this is just, I can't believe it. Bam versus Estrada, which is a brilliant fight again. Boots Ennis, was obviously a good fighter. We're looking to see what the Saudis will do with him. It actually really is incredible. We've already had Haney versus Ryan Garcia. I know the aftermath left a bad taste in people's mouths, but nevertheless, we still had it. I'd love to see the Saudis do another pre-Christmas show. Taylor Catterall this week. I mean, we've completely forgot that Taylor Catterall is actually this coming Saturday, which is a good fight in of itself. I might even do a watch-along for that as well. It's actually incredible when you think about it, what's coming up in boxing. And you do have some people, I think it's more so kind of the casual audience who complain. Like they say, oh, well, boxing isn't this, it's that. It's like, you don't even know half these fighters, for one. And amazing what's going on anyway. But you're seeing fights that you might have to wait 2 years to see one of these fights, and you might get two big shows in a year if you're lucky. If you're lucky, all right, you might get a big name 2 or 3 times a year, but you might get an actual big competitive 50-50 big competitive show maybe once or twice a year if you're lucky. We're getting them all the time now, and I'm loving it. And do I think it'll last forever? I'd love it to, but I don't think so. I think that there will come a time when the Saudis will probably wind it back. But until then, honestly, I'm going to enjoy it while it's here, because it is absolutely. And if you think about it like this is helping make future stars, because this is where we're actually getting future stars out fighting, and this really is where they're getting it. We're getting them on these Saudi shows. It's amazing. And honestly, I'm loving it. And I got to go to one of the kickoff press conferences. I'm gonna hopefully go to many more. It was amazing. It was actually just, even being at that press conference, it was phenomenal seeing how they did it. It was brilliant. It genuinely was just incredible. And yeah, the Saudis, I'd love to go to one of the shows, but we will eventually. But PBC and Showtime, I mean, they really, yeah. I mean, at one stage in boxing, that seemed to be the place to be. Now, it seems to be the worst place you could go. It really does. Yeah. So that's really a lot of it. Like, we are in a brilliant place in boxing. I can't believe Cordina got bet. I wasn't picking Kakache to win it. I did see people were telling me, look at Carl Frampton's reaction, because I was like, oh yeah, because he's a they're both from Belfast. So I was like, okay, it'll be good. It was brilliant. He sounded like a dub in that. Well, they don't do purse splits in Saudi. They don't actually do purse splits in Saudi. So Usyk would have agreed his own purse separately to the Saudis. So I don't really know necessarily what you would say a purse split would have been. But look, both guys were happy with it. Fury didn't get robbed. No, he didn't. He didn't get robbed. Fury definitely didn't win that fight. Only man to make Usyk look like a human being. Well, Briedis made him look like that was probably. I would still say that Briedis fight is probably still Usyk's toughest fight, because that was legit close. Like, that was close. Like, Briedis at 39 still has loads left in the tank. Loads left in the tank. So Briedis, I would still say that's probably Usyk's closest fight, and yet it would happen at cruiserweight. Didn't happen at heavyweight, happened at cruiser. So those cruiserweights, man, they can fight. 500 of you guys in the building, and 202 likes. Hit the like button and hit subscribe if you haven't already. Please do. Please hit subscribe. The little subscribe button, just boom. When you hit subscribe, you get more of this. You get more of a guy talking boxing with his own glove in the background. Boom. There you go. I'm happy for Kakache. I am. He's 35 years old. I didn't expect him to do it, to be honest with you. What part of London you're going to reside in? Probably Southwest. Most likely Southwest, but I'm kind of viewing in several places at the minute. But preference would be Southwest. But if I can get a really nice place in the East End or somewhat central, you're never going to get a really nice place that's reasonably affordable in central London. But we'll wait and see how that goes. But man, it's been a strange 16-18 hours, because it's not been 24 hours yet. It's not even been 24 hours. Southwest is the best place, mate. Yeah, I like Southwest London. I love it down there. So that's my preference. That's the big preference. I love Southwest London. It's a beautiful place. I tend to stay there a lot. I tend to stay there a lot. What was it say? I didn't read that comment. I'll read that back. That looked like an interesting one. Mum became a man and his dad became a woman. Guess who gave birth to Alex? Okay. Mum became a man, so I don't get it. So she's a woman still. Big up to Joe Stunner Boxing. Bit late to this one. Hope you're all well. What a great fight. Roll on the rematch. I want to give you a big congratulations. Joe Stunner Boxing just hit 4,000 subscribers today. I seen that there. Well done, my friend. 4,000 subs, huh? That was quick, wasn't it? South West London is the most affordable. South East London is more affordable. I know it is. I know it is. I like South West. I do. Yeah, big up to Joe Stunner Boxing. 4,000 subscribers my man's just hit. 4,000. I remember when I hit 4K, it was about 3 years ago. 3 years ago. We're nearly at 19 now. An undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. What a thought. First time I've ever experienced it. Now, I wasn't watching boxing when Lennox Lewis was champion. I was only a kid. I was about 6 years old. It's crazy. Man, it's crazy, man. Oh, man. Yeah, over 4K now. Thanks for the support. Yeah, I'm dying. We need to... Mate, I have it on good authority. Joe Stunner Boxing. I have it on good authority. You've heard from a certain Gareth A. Davis. And we need to know how he's feeling about this. We really need to know how Gareth A. Davis is feeling about this fight. I have it on good authority. You have the lowdown. You have the sus on it. So I'm expecting to hear from Gareth A. Davis and see just how bad is it. How bad is it for Gareth A. Davis? It's funny you should say that. Oh, man. Oh, man. Billy Nelson is probably crying more than Gareth A. Davis. Seriously, Billy Nelson is probably crying way more than Gareth A. Davis. I was surprised when I seen that. But look, let's go, G-Man. What other channels do you recommend? I've been a subscriber to you and Hatman for a year. Oh, Joe Stunner Boxing, who is in the chat here. I'll bring up his channel there. That's it there, Joe Stunner Boxing. He's a great guy. He is 100% worth subscribing to. Blue Collar Sport TV, Del Boy, who's on here regularly. He's great. Obviously, Hatman, Henry, Outmatched, Boxing Brotherhood, we're all great. Who else? Jamie, Punch Perfect Boxing. I need to give Jamie a text. I need to have him on here this week, maybe Wednesday or so, to chat and have a talk about this. Chris Andre is one of probably the best out there for breakdowns, predictions. Chris Andre's been away for a couple of months. I went for a coffee with him back in February, and he was telling me a few things, and nothing bad or anything like that, but I understand why he's taking a little break, and it's just a break. It is genuinely just a break, so he'll be back soon. And as I said in the live last night, boxing on YouTube boxing, these channels are all very good, and it's better with Chris Andre in it, and we need Chris Andre back soon. We really do. We need Chris Andre back, because the YouTube boxing scene, you know, the likes of Ade, BDA, I meant to mention Ade and BDA, Ade Oladipo, obviously, if you don't know, now you know. The likes of them are very, very good. Chris Andre is one of the best, and as I said, YouTube channels like us with Chris Andre in it, it's better. And Uncle Proper every single time, man. One of the best on there. A big up to him. Doing the ads with the Zone, interviewing Eddie Hearn. Man, my guy is he's doing very well and great. It's great to see. I mean, Proper's videos are absolutely number one. I mean, some of them are absolutely legit. And it's the simplicity of it. The simplicity, even to the thumbnails, they're very simple, but they're just so good. They're so enticing. You just want to click on it and hear it. Yeah, I love Ade's videos. I'm dying to hear his thoughts on it. I'm flipping dying. I must give him I'll probably send him a voice note tomorrow. Uncle Proper and Uncle G. Yeah, Uncle P and Uncle G. There you go. Uncle P and Uncle G. But man, it was, last night was something else. You know, it was my best friend, who's a big boxing fan, and he's a big Oleksandr Usyk fan. So he's just absolutely, he's just like, what the hell? Yeah, big up to October Red every single time. I've met her at a couple of press conferences. She's a great girl as well. There's loads out there. There's absolutely loads of good channels out there. How often do I go live? Not as much as I probably should. I don't do as many of them these days. I think with me nowadays, I tend to bring the lives out for the big ones. You know, like the big events and the big watch alongs and the reviews. I tend to mainly do them and bring them out for those. Whereas before, I kind of used to do them sporadically and this, that, and the other. Whereas now it's more so for the big events. There we go. We'll bring the lives out. I enjoyed it, but you didn't watch it. But you did a great job. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that. Carl Froch is a ledge, man. As a fighter, I was always a fan of his. I was never a fan of him when he started the punditry. Gonna need a link to buy that DAZN glove. I don't think you can buy it. Ade gave it to me. So what he gave me, obviously, is a pair. So my other glove, the DAZN glove, is in my bedroom on my office table. We got them free. So I have my DAZN glove for the live, just to trigger the Fury fanboys as well, who were like, DAZN, you're on the DAZN payroll. No, I'm not. But just, why not? Atelma looked very good last night. Very fast, very powerful. Mad impressed by most Atelma. Not getting notifications. That's YouTube, man. That's YouTube. It's just, what on earth is that? Was robbed. Okay. Yeah. You can get out of here. And that's the Fury. That's the Fury fans in a nutshell, with comments like that. Usyk told Adam Cattrall he would KO Fury in the 10th, and he was looking like it after the 9th. He really should have got rid of him in the 9th. With a different referee, chances are he would have. You know? No man born from his mother, except Oleksandr Usyk. So when Joshua, Fury and Usyk all bid farewell, that's sad to think that we are near that. That's actually quite sad to think that. Who do you think will be the next undisputed heavyweight champion? The future of the division is looking great. Well, undisputed. I think Jalilov has a good shot. Very talented. Atelma is also very talented, as is Anderson. I think the heavyweight division is in pretty good hands. It's going to be sad when they go, though, because you think about it like this, right? We've had Fury, Usyk, Joshua, Wilder for over a decade, and they've been the guys we've talked about and done everything, and it's like they're nearly gone. Like, they are gone, and we will miss the likes of Fury, Joshua, Wilder, Usyk. It'll be a weird situation when they go, and they're near gone. I would say Fury is pretty much done. I'd say Usyk is pretty much done too. Joshua has maybe another 2 to 3 years left. Wilder is probably done if he loses to Zhang. And you're like, crap. It's like, no, Jalilov can't go back to the Olympics. He's had too many pro fights. Although saying that, you actually can, can't you? That's stupid that you can have loads of pro fights and fight in the Olympics. Ajay Kabayel, that was brilliant. No way, Sanchez didn't look 31 years old. Hell to the no. He looked way older than that. He looked like he aged overnight at 30 flipping 1. Good luck. He can technically, but he won't. Already won gold. Defend the gold, I guess. Defend the gold. Where are we at? With the live? So up to 252 likes. Lads, we're just going to hit the 45-minute mark. And I tell you why, because I've got loads of stuff I need to... you missed the live? Well, I'm near done. Golden eras are usually followed by several years afterwards. Enjoy the current crop while they're here. I'm enjoying it all while we're here. I didn't actually see Daniel Lippin, to be honest with you, mate. I didn't see his fight. But, mate, I'm going to call it here purely for the simple reason that I've got loads still to do. I wanted to come on, have a quick chat, see how everyone will do. I will return. I wonder who will return in years to beat George Foreman's record. If it's a weak division, I wouldn't rule out someone coming back. If it's a really weak heavyweight division and someone's like, I could maybe pick up a title. I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule it out. But lads, it has been a pleasure. The last 45 minutes have gone by like that. I appreciate everyone locking in. To those who left the super chat, I greatly appreciate that as well. Thank you so very, very, very much. Lads, I will chat to you probably later. I'll get a video out. And if not, I will see you or chat to you tomorrow for review of the week. And thank you, Ragnar. Great name, by the way, for the £5 before we finish. I've been in G-Man and Dell's chats, but not been on the Undefeated for 2 months. The fight was between two old men, 2015 or 2020, would have smoked Usyk. Currently, Joshua or Fisher. Neither of them would beat Usyk. I still wouldn't pick Joshua to beat him. Certainly wouldn't be picking Johnny Fisher, good lord. But people, I'll leave it there. The People's Champ, big up the G-Man. Shout out to everyone. And I'll chat to yous in a wee bit. Peace.